Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network. How's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Austin Peterson. Click the like button, and if today's your first time watching the Wake Up America show and you're having fun, don't forget to click the follow button before you leave. We'd love to have you come back and join us. The show's schedule is Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. It's a 2-hour tour de force of economic freedom and personal liberty. Mondays through Thursdays at the regular show, talking about the news, have a few laughs. Friday things, well, they're very special because I introduce to you the most special people in my life. Freedom Family Friday means the lovely, smoking hot, redheaded, libertarian wifey Stephanie comes and joins us in the show.
Good morning. I'm feeling so cozy. I got my blanket, my sweater, fuzzy socks. That's why it's so wonderful to be at home while we're filming this, so I can just basically be in my pajamas.
Well, we're so glad that you're here with us, Stephanie. We're hearing a little bit of feedback from the audience. They're saying the audio is a little tinny, so let me just give it a little second here and try and see if I can't fix it for them. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Give it just a moment here.
Ooh.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check.
I think mine is probably okay.
They're saying that yours sound good, but that mine sounds a little tinny. I'm not sure, but
It might be the acoustics.
it could be, yeah, because we're in the,
Yeah.
I think that's a little better. Yeah, I just turned my microphone up a little bit. There we go.
So the hard thing about the acoustics is that we had put like some of those square pads around our dining room a few years ago, and then we decided not to use that room anymore because we wanted to use it for family dinners. And so I pulled off all of the pads from the wall, and they left fuzzies all over the wall, and I had to like redo everything and repaint.
Well,
So in here, you have my permission to put the fuzzies up if you need to.
Our permission? Oh my gosh, our permission.
Hey, I'm the one. I repainted that entire wall, so this room I'm not as attached to.
We've got a lot to discuss this morning on the Wake Up America show. John McAfee back from the dead?
Yeah, I could see it.
Alive, or is it just AI? We're going to talk about John McAfee this morning on the Wake Up America show, and we'll find out whether or not he's back from the dead or whether or not it's just a scam to deprive us of our hard-earned money. We'll talk about that this morning on the show. We've also got some news. The John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. files, the final bit of classified documents that the government has been holding on to, will be released thanks to an executive order from President Trump.
Well, that's what they've been saying. Like the other day, they were like, "Oh yeah, they'll be released in a few hours." Sure.
Well, not exactly a few hours exactly, but there's going to be about 30 to 45 days until we really kind of see everything. They basically are giving them time to come up with a plan for the release of the documents.
Sounds like there's something juicy in there if they have to come up with a plan.
Well, yeah, because my best guess is, and could be wrong, my best guess is that there are probably still some people who are alive who may have been, Secret Service agents that day who were perhaps responsible for protecting him, and they would be embarrassed because their identity would be known, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe their family or whatever. So like the whole point of keeping their names out of the public was to save them from the embarrassment or being blamed for the assassination. So anyway, and then Quest Fanning over the chat says it's going to be 99.9% redacted. So I imagine a lot of it.
Yeah, redaction protects individuals. In a case. So we maybe won't know who those individuals are because it's going to be blacked out.
Exactly. So there's going to be probably a lot of redaction in it. So we'll find out.
The whole thing is probably going to be just black lines. And we won't be able to read anything. Won't that be such a big joke on us? Where we're like, oh, look at us. We got the files. How cool. And then it's all just like a black page.
Yeah, people were sharing memes yesterday of like a piece of paper and the whole thing is just blacked out. Just that's all it is. So
it sounds like something the government would do.
Yeah,
because they're like, here, we're gonna appease you.
Yep. So
but we're still gonna do what we want.
We'll talk about that this morning. Have you been watching the videos or seen any of the pictures of the signing of the executive order, Stephanie? Have you been seeing any of the like video? Like Will Scharf is there in like every picture?
No, I just saw a fake meme the other day of him signing some random executive order that doesn't exist. So no, I haven't seen the actual ones. I've only seen memes.
Yes. John Rail says, blessing you and Steffi with the best something, me.
Bless me with something.
John.
Oh, money-wise.
Oh, John is, he blesses us with, he blesses baby Hazel all the time.
He does.
So thank you.
Yeah,
John,
thank
so
you for
much.
that, John.
Yes.
We appreciate that very much. Good morning to Mongoose87, Quest Fanning, Barney Stiles, Dad Bod Baboon, John Rail, Drew Van Runkle, Bell, R. Richard Bell, Look It's Liz, T-Mill22. T-Mill, are you going with us to D.C.? Kermode Bear, Hammer Lagger, what's up, brother? Drew Van Runkle, Floby Tenderson, and all of our friends, if I didn't say your name earlier, good morning. Grizz Cheese is here with us too. Good morning, guys.
Oh, I know Grizz Cheese.
Oh, and L-Dubs.
And L-Dubs. I have talked to them personally in the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
Very good, very nice.
Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good to very nice.
We actually say that to Hazel when she wakes up. Good morning, pineapple.
Good morning, pineapple.
She's sleeping as of now. So far, so good.
Yes, I know. If she wakes up, then we just go, we get her, we bring her down,
We've got a whole baby setup going on here. We've become pros at keeping her entertained.
Yes, so we're going to have a great show today. Don't forget, click that like button. I'm not sure if that's work functioning properly, so we've got a new tool in the chat.
Well, it sounds like Donald Trump to me.
Yes, so we've got this tool. It's there it is. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't sound like it functions exactly like it's supposed to. But we have these AI, speaking of AI characters, because we think it's possible John McAfee, it might be an AI character that's John McAfee, right? But so I installed this new toy in the chat for us to play with, which is, it gives us the ability to have voices that people who are paid subscribers can use to goof around to play in the chat. It doesn't really exactly work, I think, perfectly yet. I'm just testing it. The problem with this is that Rumble, because the way Rumble works, there's no way for me to test this offline. You have to only test it while you're live on your show. So it kind of like last night I was trying this whole private stream so I could set it up so that we could have like Peter Griffin and Donald Trump and Joe Biden in the chat, and all these funny voices, but it's
and they basically type how they really sound.
Yeah, so you do exclamation point Trump, and then type what you want Donald Trump to say in the stream, and that's what we were hearing in our ears, but then it sounded like it repeated. So I'm not exactly sure if it's functioning properly. I just have to mess with it. But we've also got a chat character that you can talk to in the chat. So the Rumble bot, for example, in the chat is another person that you can interact with. And it's got about 7 or 8 different personalities that we can play with. I think today we're actually being joined by artificial intelligent Darth Vader. Oh. Yes. So if you guys would like to speak to Darth Vader, all you have to do is speak to the Rumble bot and ask it a question. Yes.
Nice. Well,
yes.
That's fun. And he'll answer as if he's Darth Vader.
And he will answer
who
as
is your
if,
father?
Right.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Who
Did you see that? That was Quest.
Wow. So basically people are going to start typing things and it's going to come over our audio?
Yeah, on the stream.
Oh, that's kind of scary. What if somebody types something really inappropriate?
Well, they already did. Now, see, Quest Fanning already typed something inappropriate.
Oh, no.
Right, so, well, see, that's the thing, is that now things get a little bit dangerous But here's the thing: only people who are Rumble subscribers are able to use it, and I can turn down the frequency with which they can use it.
Okay.
And I can turn down the like the cooldown like globally. So if it gets really bad, I could just turn it off. You hear that?
Yeah.
See, so there is the potential for abuse.
Hopefully we don't get demonetized.
Well, we're on Rumble these days, guys. We can say whatever we want, baby.
I wonder if we can block out swear words, you know?
Yeah, you can. You can. So, like, you know, I hope people don't abuse it, but it's there to be used.
Okay, we trust our subscribers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that they're already subscribed. So here's the thing. So who are the voices that we have? We have Trump, SpongeBob, we have Joe Biden. So we have Joe Biden. We also have, Elon Musk.
Is that Kermode Bear?
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh, of course. Wow, so they can really hear this right now.
Oh, they can't hear it.
Oh, they can't hear it.
No,
only
we can, but they can't.
I wonder.
Better turn it off then. It's a shame. We got the Bears thing.
Because I feel like I'm. I feel like I'm like schizophrenic because I've got these like hallucinations going on in my head. I'm hearing things that other people cannot hear.
All right, so I have to disable it, unfortunately, because it sounds like for whatever reason we can hear it, but they can't hear it. So,
That's
anyways,
bizarre.
it's just I'm trying to like add some new fun features to the show.
You know,
Always
I
try
remember
and
when I
improve
used
it,
to go in chat rooms back in the day, and there was this game called Scrambler, and it was so fun. And basically, there'd be words posted that are all scrambled, and then the first person to guess the word is the winner. So it's like there used to be some great chat games. We need to bring back chat room games.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I especially like on the Liberty Tonight show, for example. I really want them to like start playing games in the chat last night. I was just thinking that this could really use some fun like games to play. Just like I don't know, game shows. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like trivia questions, right? Like the first person to get the trivia question right, gets kudos in the chat room.
Yep.
Yes.
For sure. Did you guys see that we launched a new product yesterday? Make beef tallow great again. Yes.
That was a great one. You did make that.
Yes.
You and BB together, a joint effort.
Yes, for libertyshop.com this morning you can get make beef tallow great again. And I made it a hoodie because it's freaking freezing outside, Mr. Bigglesworth. Let me pull it up real quick. Tallow. Hold on one sec. Make beef tallow. Oh, there's already so many. Brad has already like duplicated it so many times. Make hoodie.
Again, our shop, we are trying to be as relevant as possible. So whenever a news story breaks, we try to make merch about that news story.
Right.
And that's why we're so different than the evergreen content on other websites, other merch sites. People just have like, don't tread on me. And, that's evergreen. That'll forever be relevant. But it's like, we're different because we actually create things in the moment when it's breaking news.
Yes.
That's the cool thing.
So we've got a bunch of now we've got like t-shirts as well, but I think everybody's in the mood for a hoodie. The Make Beef Tallow Great Again hoodie, available at forlibertyshop.com. Remember,
and you said that Trump's head is a potato.
Yeah, so I made it so it looks like his head is like carved out of like a potato.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, so Make Beef Tallow Great Again. I like the red one, but the black one also looks nice as well. We've got like 3 or 4 different colors, so you can get your Make Beef Tallow and like a navy blue, I think. Yeah, so yeah, color navy, white, black, and red. So you can get your Make Beef Tallow Great Again hoodies at forlibertyshop.com.
I guess I'm in support of beef tallow. It sounds healthy enough.
Yes. All right, so let's get to the news, Stephanie. John McAfee's official account tweeted 2 days ago, "I'm back with AI antivirus, an AI version of myself. You didn't think I would miss this cycle, did you? Do not fall for scam tokens. This is the only official antivirus CA. This is antivirus the Mrs. McAfee. So he's tagged his wife here and talking about this. I say he's tagged his wife, but apparently, his wife's tagged his wife.
We've heard of this before. When people die, we were watching a video about it that there's like a bot where you can like actually talk to your deceased relative. And there was this man in the video we were watching, and he like talks to his deceased daughter.
Yes.
And he still has conversations with her.
Yeah, that's kind of sad, isn't it?
It is sad.
What do you think about that as a therapist? I mean, tell me about that, Stephanie, because like you've been kind of using ChatGPT as a bit of a therapist for you to deal with some of your problems.
Yeah. Whenever I have a situation, I'm like, okay, ChatGPT, like this is what I emotionally am feeling. Give me some logic here. But yeah, I think that it's healthy to a point to talk to your loved one. Like whenever somebody has trouble getting closure with someone who died, I always say, try writing a mock letter to them. Tell them how you're feeling. Tell them goodbye. And that can really help you get closure. And then I also say, if you don't want to write a letter, you can spiritually talk to your loved one, almost like praying, like, hey, how you doing? I just want to tell you about my day, blah, 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 right? So that can be really healing, just to still feel that person's presence in your day. And I think a lot of people do feel their deceased loved one's presence in their life still. They keep that spirit alive. And I think that's totally okay. Like when they go visit the person at the cemetery, it's okay to talk to them. Be like, hey, how you doing? I miss you. But there's a point where it might become unhealthy in that if you're just talking to that person all day, every day, and pretending as if they're still existing, and it's basically causing you to neglect other areas of your life, then that might be a problem. So you can't be in denial that this person is gone. That's ultimately what it is you have to accept that they're gone, but it's okay to still try to keep their spirit alive in your mind and to still get that closure that you need from the things that happened when they were alive.
On Wednesday night, John McAfee's account started posting again, even though McAfee himself was found dead from suicide, allegedly.
I don't know.
In June of 2021, in a prison in Spain while he was awaiting extradition to the United States. To be fair, the X account belonging to the founder of McAfee Antivirus hadn't been completely dormant since his death. His wife, Janice McAfee, had been using his account with more than 1 million followers to mostly post and retweet other users' posts about John. However, in his first post since November of last year, McAfee's account claimed that he was actually back in AI form, and he came back as AI in order to drop a meme coin. So speculation ran rampant on X about McAfee's account possibly being hacked. However, then the post that came out after that says John's account has not been hacked. This is the real deal. More information forthcoming. McAfee's widow, Janice, then posted a video on her X account. And I have that.
Oh, on her own account. Okay, I don't follow her, so I had no idea about this.
Yes, I have it.
I believed it the whole time. I remember a few days ago, I said to you, I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see this AI antivirus thing? It was right after you woke up and you were like getting ready for the day. And so I was totally into it.
Yes, here's his wife, Janice McAfee. Lovely lady, by the way.
Good morning, everyone. Janice McAfee here. And first, let's everyone just breathe with me, please, okay?
Oh my God, it feels so good, doesn't it?
Good measure.
Better? Yes.
Better.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just say, my account has not been hacked. John's account has not been hacked. This project is real. AI antivirus is real. I'm super excited about it. There will be some announcements coming later today just to further explain the vision and where I hope to take this project in the future. But can I just say that I have not laughed or smiled this much since John has passed away. I think I saw someone write under my tweet, that's not how Janice spells honored. She's been hacked. Absolutely hilarious. Thank you guys for reminding me how crazy this space could be. And thank you for reminding me how intense some of you can be with your internet sleuthing. I can assure you, again, my account has not been hacked. John's account has not been hacked. Everything's all right. Everybody just breathe. It'll be okay. You know, I should just ask for your patience. Bear with me as I venture off into uncharted territory. But I can promise you that my first goal is to only honor John's legacy and his memory. And so, again, just bear with me as I get my bearings here. And like I said, more announcements about the project will be coming out later today and in the coming weeks. So stay tuned.
There you go. Okay,
what
stay
if
tuned.
That's fake AI and AI hacked her account as well? You know, we don't know what deep
some
fake
people
is
were
anymore.
Some people were saying it was a deep fake.
Right.
That's like, that's not really Janice.
Isn't that something? We really truly cannot prove that someone is real or fake online anymore. Mm-hmm. But I think she's genuine. I really do. And I think that's so special that she does want his legacy to live on. I feel like you would want me to do that for you. We've talked about it.
No.
You would want me to continue AP for Liberty Shop or for Liberty Shop.
Yeah, well, I want you to continue to run the shop because I want you to have like a way to make money after I'm dead. Absolutely. But that actually...
Not for your message to continue to be spread.
I mean, the dead have to worry about themselves, you know, and the alive have to worry about themselves. At that point, I have no more, like, there is no me caring about anything anymore.
Right.
Yes. But in regards to the shop, like, I literally took my name off of the shop in order to make it so that it was more broad and, you know, not generic, but make it more so that it was something that you could own and run if something were to happen to me. Right. But if you're talking about would I want you to do what Janice McAfee is doing specifically? Absolutely not.
Really?
Please do not.
Oh.
Yeah, please do not create an AI version of me for like and stuff like that. You know, I'm not like Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where like, you know, there needs to be some hall of the gods where people like worship the remembrance of Austin Peterson and think, you know, I'll be forgotten, you know, after I'm gone, you know, 3 or 4 generations after. Justin brought this up actually last week when he was on the show.
Did.
He said, you know, do you remember who created the transistor radio? Do you remember who did this and all this kind of stuff? It's like, no, you have no idea who these people are. Like, unless you're like Caesar, right? You know, Trump might be remembered. Yeah. You know, but the thing is, nobody remembers Millard Fillmore. You know,
that name sounds familiar.
Exactly. He's a freaking president of the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. You know, they'll be on the list of all of the past presidents. I have this little picture of all of the past presidents in my house in Michigan. And so it'll be there somewhere. The aliens will find it. They'll be like, oh, what is this on the ground?
No, let's see, like, once I'm gone, I feel like it's time to move on, right? Like, the people who knew me, who liked me, that are still alive, like, yeah, that's fine. You can honor my memory in some ways if you like, and all that, but it's just, after you're gone, it's just pointless. Like there's really, you know, I don't believe in ghosts, so I mean, I don't get to enjoy the whole Star Wars moment where Luke Skywalker and his dad and Yoda are like ghosts looking down on like them like, yes, you know. So if you guys, you know, if you believe in ghosts, you get to enjoy that, but I don't, so I don't get to be a ghost. If you don't believe in ghosts, you don't get to be a ghost.
Well, this John McAfee thing, it certainly sounds like something he would want to happen because he loves to play with us.
Yeah.
And he loves for us to always be shocked by everything.
Well, John ran a few of these scams.
Oh, he did. Yeah. When he was alive.
You want to hear a funny story that I haven't told anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is to all 156 people on Rumble listening right now. This will be the first time they'll ever hear this celebrity behind the scenes story. So when I ran for president in 2016, at the debate in Las Vegas with me, John McAfee, and Gary Johnson. That was the Glenn Beck debate. It was hosted by Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller.
Right.
The day before that event, John launched a scam coin, I call them, but they're called meme coins, or just, you know, a cryptocurrency. And the meme coin that was launched the day before was the classic, what I call the rug pull, right?
Yeah.
It's called a pump and dump, right? They, you know, stockbrokers do this kind of stuff where they'll, like, you know, do it with fake stocks, right? Now they do it with meme coins, and it's just a way for people, it's, you know, it's like the Haktua. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. A lot of people have been doing this lately. Even Trump and Melania did it just the other day.
Yeah, the hawk to it. It's a scam, and what you do is you launch this cryptocurrency. You own like 50% or more of it, like, or maybe even 75% of it, and then you allow people to buy about 25% of whatever's in circulation, and that drives up the cost. You hype it. You're like, oh my God, there's going to be this coin and it's going to be amazing. It's the Haktua coin, or it's the Trump coin, or it's the John McAfee coin, or whatever it is. And then once everybody has bought into the coin, then you sell all of yours once the value has like peaked.
Right.
And that crashes the value of the coin. So everybody who bought it holds all these coins that are worthless, and you take all of the cash and you go home, and that's how the scam works.
What if you don't sell it all? Could it possibly be a good venture if you truly introduce a coin, the For Liberty coin, right? People buy into it. There's only so many in circulation. We don't sell them, and it stays up there, right? Couldn't it work?
It could. There around 93% of all of the meme coins that come into existence are scam coins.
Wow. If we made one, we would not make it a scam.
Well, so some meme coins have like gone on to have a life, like Dogecoin. Dogecoin is an example of like a meme coin that eventually went on to, like, I won't say become like legitimate or have legitimacy necessarily, but I will say that like it's more legitimate as like a currency than any of the other scam coins.
Oh, for sure.
Bitcoin is like considered the gold standard. Everybody likes Bitcoin. They want Bitcoin, and they're all like, you know, enjoying, you know, the being able to transact in it.
Right.
So in terms of like what John McAfee's situation is here, what I think has happened, well, I didn't even tell you the celebrity angle in the story here.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm backstage at the debate, and I'm sitting there. John McAfee was not in the room yet. Like, he was off doing something else. I think Gary Johnson was there. Or was it? No, it was not at the debates. It was after the debate. So the night after the presidential debate, or the night of the presidential debate, Penn invited me to his show.
Yeah.
And so that was an amazing night. I walked in, and the guy at the piano started playing Hail to the Chief, the song for the president. And I was kind of like, oh my God. And I got to sit up front in the VIP table. It was one of the most amazing nights of my life.
Yeah.
And then Penn and Teller invite me backstage to hang out in their dressing room.
Right.
And Teller is hanging out in his boxer shorts, just kind of like he's like talking about the debate and all that stuff.
Right,
we had a nice conversation.
He talks.
He does talk. Yes, he does.
No.
Yes. But then I'm in Penn's dressing room, which is like this, it's like a green room. It's this beautiful green room with all of these incredible artifacts from magic history.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm in awe. I'm 34 years old. I'm not even 35 yet. Right. So I was almost constitutionally eligible to be president. And I'm sitting backstage in awe, and Penn Jillette walks in, and he looks at me and he goes, "It was a pump and dump." And I was like, is this some kind of a proposition? Or like, did you just do somebody in the other room? Like, did you have?
I would assume so.
Right. And it's just me, and I'm just kind of sitting there, and I go, okay, so I go pump and dump. I go, what was a pump and dump? And he goes, McAfee. I go, McAfee? Because I wasn't paying attention to like what John McAfee was doing with like cryptocurrencies or anything like that. I was running for president of the United States, so I'm sitting there just trying to kind of, I'm just doing my own thing.
Right.
And McAfee is doing these rug pull cryptocurrencies before, this is kind of before it was cool. And Penn Jillette was like, this was a pump and dump. McAfee was doing pumps and dumps. So we started having a conversation about like cryptos, and I think I was just kind of like explaining to Penn sort of like what the crypto was all about. But it was so McAfee, when you say that he would want Janice McAfee to do this, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. But
he likes to pull these shenanigans.
But as much affection as I have for John, as a friend, and by extension Janice, it's a scheme. It's a scam. Don't put your money into it.
But what if she doesn't pull the rug out?
She will. She will. I promise you. Do you know how many people were probably saying, "What if the Hawktua girl doesn't?" She said it. She said she's in it for the long run. So I'm in it for the long term, baby. They rug pulled like the first day. It got up to like $500 million in terms of market value.
I mean, Janice looks like a really nice, responsible person.
She is, but she's probably broke. I mean, that was her claim to fame was John. So she probably got approached by a team of scammers that asked to set up an AI chatbot like we're trying to set up here in ours. It is John McAfee and sounds like him, and it's to promote the scam coin.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I didn't get why is there a chatbot, but then there's also a coin? How are they both connected? Okay, so you can talk to him, and then he'll probably be like, go buy my coin. Hey, it's me, John.
Right. It's just so it's a way to get people on a website and then
and to get their information, their email address, their phone number.
Yes, as we are quite familiar with. Yes.
We only use that information for
But we
good.
don't scam people, Stephanie. What do? We sell them tea.
We do.
Delicious tea. You want to talk to people? You want to talk to people about the non-scams that we run over at forlibertyshop.com?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell them about it, Stephanie.
For Liberty. Austin actually has Boston Harbor Black in his tea cup there.
Yeah,
there it is. There we are. Boston Harbor Black. So we've got this whole line. We have so many different blends, flavors. So this is English breakfast tea, the Boston Harbor Black. We also have Earl Grey, Grey's Revolt. He's the founding father that nobody knows about, but he played a very important role, I swear. And so we've got the fan favorites, but then we also have, this is my personal favorite. I need to have us make this one morning for the show, even though it has no caffeine. That might be why you wouldn't want to drink it for the show. It's apple cider rooibos. And so it literally tastes like apple pie, and I put milk in it, so it tastes like apple pie with cream, and it is absolutely amazing. And we just bought a special boiling pot.
Yeah, like one of those Japanese-style tea kettles.
So that we can make all of these teas. And there's way more. We have like jasmine.
They're all behind you.
We have hibiscus. Oh!
You can see them over there.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, you don't have to grab them,
we
but
have
like
chai.
you can see they're there.
And they're amazing. I mean,
they're good.
We're
very
not
good.
lying.
No.
We seriously drink this.
Whenever you say I'm not lying, people always think that you're lying. So just it's
the less you say, right? The more you say, the more they think you're actually lying.
Tamara bought the tea and said it's the Earl Grey. She said it's the best Earl Grey she's ever had.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I love tea. I've been wanting us to sell tea for a long, long time.
It took us like a year to find a place that we could sell it through.
Yes.
So if you guys want to try our tea, you can do so at forlibertyshop.com. That's forlibertyshop.com, the number 4. Grab yourself some For Liberty. Would be very glad and grateful. And as you can see on the chat over there, speaking of things at the store, I really love my Javier Malay rubber desk mat over there. You can see right there. That's the new item in the shop as well. So check that out at forlibertyshop.com. That's the number 4, libertyshop.com. Do you think we've done the John McAfee topic and done it to death?
I think so. I mean, I can just sense Janice's sadness inside. You can kind of see that little sparkle in her eye.
She misses him, She misses him and wishes he was back, and I get it. John was a really interesting character. He's, the best of what the United States can produce in many ways, right? So just in terms of like individualism, John McAfee represented individualism to its most extreme. And I think it was a beautiful thing, and it was amazing that we hit it off so well because to you, I'm like a maniac, right? I've had like a crazy past.
Oh, compared to me, yeah.
Right, compared to you. But for me, compared to John McAfee, I'm like I was like such a little good boy,
Yeah.
like sweet farm boy to John McAfee. And I don't like, you would think that those personalities would clash. And honestly, a lot of John McAfee's supporters themselves did not like me because they were more the anarchist, do drugs,
Right.
be crazy, all the kind of people. And I was a little more buttoned down, but for whatever reason, John and I just like really hit it off. I think I remember times in the debates when I was campaigning where when I was like giving my little spiel and like John was like looking over at me like, and I could just tell he was really impressed. He was just like, wow, this young man has really got his shit together. Because, I think ideological kin. Like, he knew that I was the type of person who didn't think that he should be in jail for not paying his taxes, for example,
Right.
that he probably is used to people who dress like me, talk like me, act like me, being little tyrants, little Republican conservative tyrants.
Absolutely. You respected him.
Yeah, respected him.
And you were fine with whatever lifestyle he had.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of, individualism. And I think John and I really, became friends after that. And he actually, when I was doing the radio in Jeff City, he came on the show a couple of times before he passed away. So we all miss John McAfee. May he rest in peace.
I don't know. He might still be there.
I don't Speaking
the Oz behind the
of
curtain.
resting in peace, here's three people who are not resting in peace: John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. But maybe they'll rest easy after this.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Okay, thank you very much.
There you go. Okay, well, first of all, let's give it up for Will Scharf.
We know that guy.
Yeah.
The show knows that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And now, is he writing with a marker?
It's kind of like a marker, yeah, a big, thick, like, kind of felt pen almost.
That's so weird that each executive order he signs with a different marker. Mm-hmm. Like, why? Use the same marker. What is the point? That's so wasteful,
Yeah, well, I mean...
It's almost like the drummer throwing his drumsticks in the audience,
it's a tradition, right?
Yeah.
You give it to the pen. I think the first pen that he handed out was to Will, actually. So.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, good for Will.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that fun? Isn't
How
it
cool? I would literally be so scared.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Doing
I
that?
mean, he's got a big job there. Will does. So I'm going to try and set it up that when we're in DC for the AP DC Liberty tour, depending on his schedule, I'm just going to text Will and say, "Hey, Will, me and the crew, we're all out grabbing a drink. We're going to be near the White House. If you can, come out, say hi to everybody."
Do you think he's allowed to even go out in public without Secret Service?
Oh,
or
yeah.
anything?
Will can.
Oh, wow.
Will can. Yeah.
I mean, you would think people would be after him as well because he's so close to the president.
The secretary, I'm not quite sure about that one. Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, no, the president who gets the Secret Service there, so, and their family. So,
Right.
So, yeah. So my hope is that when we're in DC for the AP DC tour, that I'll text Will and we'll be at a bar nearby and I'll just say, "Hey, Will, or, if you're able to, if you're nearby, if you get a break from working, for Trump, come on over and grab a drink with us for the APDC tour."
I can't even imagine what his working hours are.
Larry Legend 420. First time I've seen him in the chat.
Hi,
What's up, Larry? Says the worst part is those markers probably cost $350 each. Yeah.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Probably
I wonder
true.
if they're the type that you can sniff. Remember back in middle school when the children the kids in the back of the class would like be smelling the markers.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're the kind that you can sniff. I doubt it. Yeah. Jack Schlossberg, he's John F. Kennedy's grandson.
Oh.
Accused President Trump of using JFK as a political prop after Trump issued the order Thursday to declassify files tied to his grandfather's murder. The 32-year-old grandson of the 35th president took to social media to brush aside the bombshell announcement Trump made about long-held government secrets tied to JFK's assassination, along with those of Schlossberg's great uncle, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King. So, because remember, his great uncle was John F. Kennedy's brother, who was also assassinated. Right. And here's the thing. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's about to be the head of Health and Human Services, he has said that he believes that the CIA murdered his father and his uncle.
Yeah, he's going to get quite an awakening, isn't he?
Right. So he is going to get quite an awakening, because if it turns out that it wasn't the CIA that had an involvement in it, right? So
you did a debate on this topic a few years back.
Yeah, I did actually on InfoWars.
Oh, yes.
I did one on InfoWars like a year ago on the JFK
I feel like
stuff.
All of the conspiracy theorists are going to all at the same time.
Yeah.
But I bet you, even if the documents show that the CIA didn't do it, the conspiracy theorists are still going to say they're hiding something.
Of course.
They didn't release all the documents.
Yeah, this redacted name will reveal everything that I believe to be true, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like everything else. It's like everything that comes out either confirms, everything that comes out always confirms what you already believed.
Exactly.
Have you realized that?
Yes.
That have you noticed that every time something comes out, people are like, this only proves what I already believed.
Right. The fact that it's redacted proves to me that the CIA did it.
Yes. So here's the thing. I'm willing to change my mind about what I think happened on that day and who was involved, right? I'm willing to change my mind, but I don't think most people are willing to change their minds. I think they've made up their minds about who was involved and all of that. There was a movie that came out in the 90s, early 90s. It was called JFK by Oliver Stone. And we should watch it sometime. It's pretty good.
I would love to.
It's like the official conspiracy theory movie.
Okay.
Of the JFK assassination, right? So it's a fictional film that attempts to show the conspiracy of who killed JFK. What's fascinating is that like the JFK assassination stuff used to be like a big left-wing conspiracy, and now it's like a big right-wing conspiracy, right? It used to be that the left was like obsessed with who really killed JFK and all this stuff, right? And like the big rumors are that, it was the CIA, it was LBJ, it was, blah, 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 right? But Kim McCurry in the chat says, I've also heard it's going to say Israel has him killed. Well, Israel did everything.
Right.
So
It's not.
It's always Israel.
We have a feeling that it's not going to say the Jews killed JFK.
They're going to find a Jew somewhere in this and say, well, the brother's cousin twice removed was Jewish, therefore he must have had a hand in it.
Absolutely.
This hook nose coming in, the Jews, yes.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited to see it, but I think it's just going to be a lot of nothing.
Well, the funny thing is, I was seeing this morning that people were posting the Martin Luther King FBI files from decades ago.
Now, what is the Martin Luther King conspiracy theory that we're trying to debunk here? What is
there's almost as many conspiracies about Martin Luther King Jr. as there are JFK.
Okay.
So, in regards to the Martin Luther King conspiracies, is that that the FBI or the CIA killed Martin Luther King Jr., et cetera, et cetera.
Who really did kill him?
Oh, I forget the assassin's name. It was some guy who shot him at his hotel as he came out.
I'm assuming it was a white supremacist. I don't know. That's what I would think.
It was the 60s. Everybody was a white supremacist. So,
right.
So who shot MLK? What's his name? Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's funny because
James Earl Ray.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes. So
that's right.
What
and so people think the
most...
government did this as well.
Of course. I mean,
Yes.
the government and then, therefore, the Jews.
Right.
So the most prominent conspiracy theories are that there was government involvement, the FBI or the CIA. There are allegations that the FBI... there are allegations that the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover conducted surveillance and might have instigated or condoned his assassination. Military intelligence. Then there's this James Earl Ray often spoke about a mysterious figure called Raoul, who he claimed had given him instructions and money.
Raoul?
Suggesting he was part of a larger conspiracy. This has been largely dismissed, but remains a focal point for conspiracy theorists. And then Memphis Police and Fire Department and all that. The Sniper's Nest, the King's family perspective. In a civil suit, Lloyd Jowers, who owned a restaurant behind the rooming house, was found liable by a jury for being part of a conspiracy to kill King after he claimed he was involved in passing the rifle used in the assassination. However, the trial's findings are not legally binding and are considered controversial. And then there's Robert F. Kennedy. That's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s dad. He was assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan in the kitchen.
Sirhan. What a name.
Sirhan. It's I think it's like a Muslim name. It's Arabic, right? Arabic name. So James Earl Ray, Brad Beckman says he did it after breaking out of the Missouri State Penitentiary in a bread box. Yes, I remember that. Did you remember when we went on the tour to the Missouri State Penitentiary, the ghost tour?
Yeah.
And they talked about that guy who escaped, and he did it like in the bread box. It was like all the bread was like going out in and out of the prison. James Earl Ray was that guy, so he was actually housed in the prison here in town. So,
oh my,
yeah. So they showed
Missouri did it.
Missouri did it. There you go. It wasn't the Jews. It was
the
those,
government of Missouri.
It wasn't the Jews. It was those damn Missourians. They're even more insidious than the Jews. I have a really fun game. It's a card game. It's called Illuminati.
Oh,
and
I think we played it one time.
It's a conspiracy game, but
Yeah.
it's so complicated. So it's really hard to get people to play it because you have to learn all the rules, and it's really difficult. Like you have like cash and like all of the little the really funny. What are some of the groups in the Illuminati?
The Illuminati.
Game,
oh my goodness.
Especially
that's
funny
like
ones.
what I learned when I was first starting to get into libertarianism. It was all about the triangle.
Yes.
And like Justin Bieber does the Illuminati sign a lot.
Yes.
And all these celebrities.
Yes. I love it. So so the Illuminati card game is known for its satirical take on conspiracy theories. And the groups that you have that are like the conspirators are like the Boy Sprouts. Orbital mind control lasers. That's a good one.
Oh,
the
HARP. I'm sure HARP is one of them.
Remember the HARP? They're controlling the weather and making the earth shake. The Fnord Motor Company, the Church of Violentology, the Triliberal Commission, albino alligators, evil geniuses for a better tomorrow, two-headed anti-nuclear activists, Hack, Slash, and Burn, Trekkies, and the Society for Creative Anachronism, and the Semi-Conscious Liberation Army. So it's a fun game. It's a funny game, but you actually have to like sit down and really learn the rules, and it's and it's really funny. It's a fun game. So in terms of like the JFK assassination, who did it? I think the best book that was ever written was by Gerald Posner, who wrote a book called Case Closed. And in Case Closed, he does basically a trial. He tries Lee Harvey Oswald for the crime and does and he actually had like a mock trial and it presented the evidence to prove that Lee Harvey Oswald was the assassin. So here's the thing. Are there conspiracies involved that involve the JFK assassination? There are, because Oswald was such a shady character. He was a communist, and he hated the Kennedys, and he tried to defect to the Soviet Union. And so it was kind of, it's well known that he did travel to the Soviet Union. He tried to defect, but the Russians didn't want him. Yeah, because he was crazy.
Right.
So
if Russia doesn't even want you, then you know you have a problem.
If Soviet Russia doesn't want you, yeah, and he thought that he would be a hero. His thing was that he always thought that he never got the respect that he deserved. I mean, he's a fascinating character when you really read about Lee Harvey Oswald's life.
I feel like that's probably what most of these killers feel like, is that people just don't acknowledge them enough.
Their greatness, yes.
And that they deserve more And then that's why they commit these crimes.
Yes. So Lee Harvey Oswald was a prominent communist. He was always starting up communist parties and distributing communist literature. And what a lot of people don't know is that Lee Harvey Oswald tried to assassinate someone else about a month before he assassinated John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
So there was a prominent military, I don't know if he was a general, but he was like definitely high up in the military, who lived in Dallas. And Oswald shot at his window and missed. And then a month later, he shot at John F. Kennedy and hit him. So I think the reason why I think that there are so many conspiracy theories surrounding the John F. Kennedy assassination is that the KGB, that was the Soviet like CIA at the time, the KGB, General Walker, thank you, Luke Sacker, the KGB, they did a lot of psychological studies on Americans. And in order to try and sow chaos in the United States, just like we were doing in Soviet Russia, because we were during the Cold War, we were basically at war and everything, but like full blown pitched battles against the Soviets themselves. But what the Soviets realize is that there's something about the American psychology. We are a nation of believers.
Yes.
We are a nation of believers, which is, it's not to say that like there aren't a lot of like believers in Russia. There are, right? And there still is like a strong religious tradition, but because they don't really see much of a future for themselves, they don't have the same kind of like aspirational, like sort of manifest destiny that Americans have, right? The kind of the pioneer spirit. The Russians, the Soviets, they realized that Americans are believers, and this all came out in what's called the Matrochkin archives. So there was a KGB general who defected in the 1990s, and he revealed this and a lot of other things, especially concerning the John F. Kennedy assassination, was that the Soviets realized that the Americans were willing to believe. They love to believe in things, and conspiracy theories are one of the things that Americans love to believe in, right? It could be any kind of like superstition, myth, religion, fantasy, conspiracy theory. Americans love them. We are obsessed with them. We fantasize about them all the time. Yeah. And the theory on this one is actually, I call it the bored housewife theory of conspiracy theories, which is that we have so many bored housewives and we're so wealthy that we have time to sit around and think about that kind of bullshit. Whereas like Russians, they're so broke and they're like subsistence living, many of them, that it's like they don't have time to sit around and wonder who assassinated, Alexandria, the daughter of the Tsar.
Right. They're like, I don't have time for this. Okay. Just tell me who did it and I'll accept it. Okay.
Right. Well, they don't even have time to think about it. Right. So like we have all of this free time to sit around and read, conspiracy websites. Yeah. And the bored housewives who are at home doing nothing with their wealthy husbands taking care of them in much greater numbers than in the Soviet Union, trust me. The Soviets planted conspiracies in the United States.
Really?
They planted conspiracies. Yes, that was one of their things because that was a way for them to get us to hate each other and to fight each other and to and to work against. And to
not believe each other, and then to be like, see, conspiracies exist.
You can see right. You can see it happening still today. Yeah. And this is not to say that every conspiracy theory is fake or not true, or that there's no conspiracies at all. Yeah. But you can still see this today with like Russia Today, for example. There's a reason why they love to put libertarians on their channel, and it's not because they believe in libertarianism. It's because the Kremlin knows that libertarians are anti-regime and want to overthrow the regime and are anti-government. And therefore, they want to promote those views in order to try and sow discord in the United States and to cause rebellion and to get us to hate fighting each other and hating each other and all that kind of stuff. The Russian, Russia Today does not like libertarians. They just want us to cause problems.
They're using us as pawns.
Correct. Yeah, correct. And that's what the KGB did. And so there is evidence that the KGB got access to Lee Harvey Oswald's signature when he tried to defect to the Soviet Union.
Well, that makes sense.
So what did they do? The KGB had knowledge of a known CIA agent who operated in Dallas. And they forged a document. They forged a document that had Oswald's signature on it. Okay. And then and that was from the CIA, or from Oswald to the CIA agent. And so, and then later, Oswald's that document was taken to Lee Harvey Oswald's wife, and she was asked to verify if that was his signature, and she said yes. But it was because the KGB was so good at forging signatures. They had gotten his signature when he came. So this is a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy.
They really did this.
The KGB did this. It was called the Matryoshkin Archives.
How do we know if they did or didn't? Maybe it really was his signature because his wife said it was. Right?
But here's the thing.
Who can we believe?
It's like eyewitness testimony, right? It's hearsay.
I don't believe eyewitness testimony.
Right. Well, it's like
People's
hearsay.
brains full with them.
Right. It's like hearsay.
Yeah.
Right? And so and of course you can say, you're talking about a defected KGB general, Vasily Matryoshkin.
Oh my goodness.
The Matryoshkin Archives. Look it up. It's fascinating stuff. There's conspiracy theory and there's conspiracy reality. But in terms of the Lee Harvey Oswald, who did it? Lee Harvey Oswald did it from the third floor book depository.
Right.
Firing 3 shots, 2 of which missed.
Right. But then people are saying, well, he wasn't really a good shot. Clearly he missed shooting that other person.
He was a U.S. Marine.
Right. But then don't they say it was a really hard shot to make?
It was not a really hard shot to make. One of the biggest realizations of my life was...
See, I want to believe this conspiracy theory.
Of course. See, that's the thing. The KGB loved people like you because Americans are believers. We want to believe. And here's the thing. This doesn't... I know this does sound crazy to people, but our lives are kind of boring.
Yes, we've made them that way. We don't have to worry about survival anymore.
Everybody wants to feel like they are part of an adventure. They're discovering secrets that no one has ever known.
We're like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's like when Candace Owens talks about the USS Liberty, or when she's like, I love it when Candace Owens goes did you know that there were Christians? Did you know that the British firebombed Dresden and killed all of these Christians in World War II? And it's kind of like, yeah, you stupid bitch. We learned that in fucking freshman year of high school. Yeah. But they love to feel like, did you know that the USS Liberty, was bombed by the Israeli Air Force and attacked by the submarines in 1972? It's like, yeah, you dumb bitch. We learned that the sophomore year in high school.
Just acting like it's new news.
Well, here's the thing. Most
found out.
I was like, no offense. This is not to the people this is not the audience who is listening to this show right now. But most stupid Americans did not pay attention in their history class, okay? Right? I'm going to use some language here, right? But it's just because, I remember my high school history classes, and most of you stupid motherfuckers did not pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, me included.
Okay? All I'm saying here is that it was me and David Fielicki answering all the questions and getting the 100% on this test, and everybody else trying to cheat off of us, and 90% of you motherfuckers did not pay attention in class.
Right.
And now all of these assholes, these mid-wit, 80, 90, 100 IQ people are suddenly discovering history and did you know that this happened and that this was, did you know that in the bombing of Hiroshima that there was a Christian church in Hiroshima? And it's like, yeah, that was junior year high school history. Where have you been, right? And we're supposed to act outraged about it, but it's kind of yeah, we fucking knew that because we paid attention to history class.
Get over it, buddy.
Yeah. So anyways, I
bet
know
you're probably enraging the chat here.
No, C-Mill is dumb says, holy fuck, I'm offended by this language, so.
Yes. We actually, some of our listeners are Candace Owen fans, so.
That's fine. To each his own. I mean, if you like Candace Owens, you like Candace. It's entertainment, right? I wouldn't look at it as if you're going to Candace Owens to really learn something new, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. Everybody's got to start somewhere, but I wouldn't start with Candace.
Sure.
Once Candace
I started
Owens,
with Jesse Ventura and InfoWars.
Yeah. Well, like
Yes.
10 to 12 years ago, when Candace Owens said that Hitler would have been okay if he had just stayed inside his country. His problem was that he tried to be a globalist and like go outside of his country with. I'm like that betrays a complete misunderstanding of Hitler's views of things like shrinking markets and, you know, his imperial ambitions. And it's just I was just like, all right, I'm done. You know, like, you know, World War II is one of those subjects that I'm just really like prickly about.
Well, you know a lot about it. You're always watching documentaries about it.
Every effing day I'm learning something new about World War II. I mean, if you
Yes.
look at the posters that are on the wall here, what are they? They're all World War II posters, you know.
Yeah. Isn't that a Russian one?
Yeah, this one behind me here is a Soviet one. Actually, this one is an anti-Nazi poster. It says "Kill the Wolf," and it shows like the wolf.
Oh, wow.
Getting killed by the Americans, the British, and the Soviets. So, and I've got German posters too, and Americans and Italian. This is an American one up here. The Corps of Engineers. That one's an Italian. That's actually the Mussolini poster there. Buon sangue non mente.
Yeah, you like to be reminded of the evil in the world.
Yes, I am the type of person who wants to confront the evil. That's the motto of the Mises Institute. Did you know that? The Italian, it's not Italian, but it's almost Italian. It's the Latin. It's tuna cede.
Oh, tuna cede.
No.
Yes. Yes,
What
yes.
what is the motto of
We
the
have that
Mises?
on our bikini. Yes.
Yes, we do.
If you buy the Mises bikini, you can know what the phrase is.
Tuna cede malis.
Yes.
Sed contra audentiorito, which is do not give in to evil, but proceed ever more boldly against it. I've always been fascinated by evil because I always evil was to some extent defeated in World War II. Of course, the evils of communism continued on. But people, I think, many times they don't want to face it. They don't like to face evil. They don't want to look at it, right? They don't want to study it too intently. But I mean, it's so important, I think, to understand evil. It's so important. As much as you study good, you need to study evil. Oh. And I think it's because it's coming back, right? Like you see like the fascination with Hitler, and you see like Nick Fuentes and others out there espousing these same ideas, right? And it's socialism. It's always socialism, right? No matter what it is, it always turns into some ugly form of collectivism, right? And it's this collectivistic, right? It's anti-individual liberty, right? It's always anti-individual. And I just really, I really have always wanted to ensure that I would, be a part in building a country where people like you are safe and our daughter are safe to live and be free and not be, put in a concentration camp because of your ethnic ancestry. You know what I'm saying? So,
correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you for protecting us.
Hey man, dad's got to do his part. Dad's got to be dad. So,
That's right.
So anyways, John F. Kennedy Jr., right? The assassination.
Back to the main
I think
topic.
people are going to be really disappointed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to tell us anything we don't know. Honestly, I'd be interested to see the O.J. Simpson files to be released.
Why? What do you mean O.J. Simpson files? Why O.J.
We
Simpson?
need to know once and for all, did he kill his wife? I want to know that.
Spoiler alert,
Because
he
we
did.
still don't know what happened. There's just so many murders out there in this world that we really don't know what happened. John Benet Ramsey, all these things that we as a society become fascinated with for some odd reason.
Well, so here's what I'm reading, by the way, on the JFK thing. So in terms of how they'll be released, so officials have 15 days to present a plan to Trump to release the JFK files and 45 days to offer a plan for the RFK and MLK paperwork. So this is how fast.
See, they're scrambling right now. They're like, oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want anything to make us look bad.
The officials, so 15 days, they have to present the plan. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the files will be released in 15 days.
This is kind of shady to me. If you're going to release the documents, release the documents. Why do you have to create a plan?
Because you know why? Because they're probably concerned that this is the boring, probably the boring truth. They're probably concerned that that there are collection methods that they use, that the intelligence agencies use for collection of information that could be revealed in this. And so it could be a national security question. Like there probably are still national security methods of that are still being used today. So
right, they don't
that's
give
what
away
it
our
is.
secrets.
Right, they don't want to give away like how we collect information. So
right.
Sneering at commies, first time we've seen him in the chat. What's up, Sneering at?
We don't like commies either.
We hate communists just as much as we hate Nazis.
Yes.
Sneering at commies says Trump should order them to unredact them if they're over-redacted. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he actually does on that one.
I wonder if that would even be possible to unredact that and actually distribute that.
I really don't know about that one. I have an interesting story about redacted and unredacted. So when I worked at Fox with the judge, there was this book called Operation Darkheart by Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer. He sometimes comes on the show. And he was writing about what he alleges that the United States government knew about Muhammad Atta, who was one of the 9/11 hijackers, but he was in the United States before the 9/11 attack, and that we had identified him. That's what he alleges. And he wrote his book. He published his book. This was during the Obama years. He wrote his book. He published his book. And then the Department of Defense actually ordered all copies of his book destroyed. The judge had a copy that was an unredacted copy. And
but he was supposed to destroy it, wasn't he?
in theory,
okay.
But you can't. The Department of Defense couldn't like just seize people's property or
like
books.
what they would do with guns. Come to your door,
right.
knock on your door. Do you have this book?
Yeah, no, exactly. So the government ordered any copies that are still out there for sale to be seized and destroyed. So Lieutenant Colonel Schaefer was going to be on our show the next day, and so the judge wanted me to read his book, and I was like, okay, well, can I get a copy of the book? You have the unredacted one, because I wanted to read all the good stuff in there, because Obama ordered that book to be heavily redacted. So if you buy that book today, it's got black marks all the way through it. There are still copies of it out there that are unredacted, but the judge gets handed 50 books a day.
Right.
And so he just threw it on a stack of books and then it just disappeared. So I got to see it for one day because he like let me look at it, and then I gave it back to the judge, and then the judge just like threw it away, and we didn't realize that we had it. And now like copies of it sell online for like hundreds of dollars and stuff.
Well,
so it's like
what kind of secrets did this reveal? What was the government so afraid of?
Well, Obama alleged that there were national security data collection tools that were revealed in this. So,
like about building number 7?
No, about the 9/11 hijackers, the 9/11 stuff. So,
yes, 9/11's another conspiracy. Are we going to have all of those documents released to us? Right?
Maybe
that'll be next.
Maybe, yeah, maybe we might get that as well. Bia Ketty says, "Good morning, Augie. OG Ninja, first time watching live. Early
Augie, they are. OG.
That is an OG.
Augie. Oh,
that's
my
Brian.
Goodness. Brian, who?
I know Brian.
Oh.
What's up, Brian? How you doing, brother? It's nice to see you. Welcome to the Wake Up America show.
I wonder if some of these OG ninjas are coming because BB has been calling them.
I hope so. I hope so. Because you and Brad have both been calling all of our OG supporters and telling them about the Wake Up America show. So I'd be curious to hear how Brian Bichetti finally found us again. It's nice to see you again. Brian, we missed you, man, and we're hoping to get all the OGs back because we've been going through all of the lists of our supporters and just calling absolutely everybody that we have a phone number for and telling them about the show, telling them about the network, and just trying to build up the show. So
if you get a text message from me from our texting line, the 573-319-1586. If I say, hey, it's Steffi, I just want to talk to you about the For Liberty Network and, see if you can support us. That really is me. So don't be scared.
Yes.
And I truly just want to talk about the For Liberty Network, get to know you, how you started watching us, and help you support us.
Yeah, see, we're not going to be able to like grift with scam coins and shit.
Right.
or or like plagiarize other people's work and get huge and all that kind of stuff. So we have to build a revolution out of blood. And that means that we have to do person-to-person contact, talking to each person, asking for their support, asking for your support to build the For Liberty Network, because that's the only way that we're going to have a good Liberty Network that isn't captured. Because honestly, if you look at like Reason Magazine and what they are kind of turning into, Donald Trump just sort of like broke the Liberty movement, like kind of just shattered it into a million pieces in many ways here. And you know, quite frankly, I think that the future of the Wake Up America show, the future of the For Liberty Network, will be the future of the American Liberty movement, if we get enough support from people who will join us in our task.
Right, because we've got MAGA people that are watching us. We've got libertarians, anarchists. We've got people from all sides that are coming together. And so if we can just make it as big as possible and have all these people connect together and be kind to each other, then we have hope.
Yeah, we're trying to build a positive movement, right? We're trying to build a self-reinforcing movement. Like, you know, whenever I try and help libertarians, like usually the first thing that they do is spit in your face and tell you why you're a statist piece of shit.
Oh, yes.
You
yes,
know,
I've
and
been
you try
told
and
that.
help people, and then, you know, then they don't appreciate it. But like, if you actually, instead of trying to talk to people online, if you actually call them on the phone, it's a lot harder for people to be like hateful or just like dismiss you when you actually get them on the phone and talk to them.
People really are giving us feedback, though, and I really appreciate it. I like when people are honest to us. When I call you, you don't have to be all nice, be like, oh, you and Austin are perfect, you're my idol. You know, it's okay. You can give us some constructive feedback.
No, you have to tell us we're perfect and amazing.
Because we can only grow if we improve.
Sneering at Kami says he's a former libertarian, now more center-right conservative after seeing just so insane so many Democrats and neolibs have gone. That's funny because when I think of center-right, I think of like Mitt Romney, you know, but I imagine they probably don't think of something like that. But yes, positivity is huge, says John Rail. Enough negativity in this world. Yes, completely agree. So if you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, good morning. I'm Austin Peterson. We're glad and thankful to have you here. Click the like button if you haven't already. That's a free way to support the show. And then tell Brian Bicchetti about the For Liberty shop, Stephanie. What do we got going on over there?
Well, if you haven't visited the 4libertyshop.com yet, it is the number 4libertyshop.com. We sell everything. It is a Liberty superstore. We have For Liberty. We have all kinds of teas, Earl Grey, English breakfast tea, chai. We have coffee, all kinds, light roast, medium roast, dark roast. And we also have mugs, t-shirts. We have metal signs that you can put on your house. Anything a Liberty lover could possibly want. I actually was talking to one of our callers, the people I called the other day, and he said that his shirt has forlibertyshop.com on the back of it. He was wearing a Trump Lives shirt. And he says, you know, he just loves showing it to people. And that's exactly what our merch does, is it makes people look at it, and it makes people start conversations.
Yeah, I love the new shirt that we put up in the shop, which was the Make Beef Tallow Great Again shirt. Yes. So
somebody seeing that, they'd be like, what is that? And we were actually reposted by Steak and Shake.
Oh yeah,
about
I forgot.
Our beef tallow.
Yes, so we posted the meme of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And that Steak and Shakes would make the move to beef tallow for their like French fries and their fryers. And Steak and Shake, the official account, actually reposted it. Yeah.
Now, if we could get a repost from Wendy's, I think I would really be freaking out here.
Stephanie loves her a biggie bag from Wendy's, doesn't she? Yes, she does.
So, forlibertyshop.com, our products are special because they follow breaking news of the day. So when something happens, we're literally on it, and we instantly make merchandise about that issue.
Yes.
That's why we're so cool and so relevant.
Andy Opperman says he's a bit of a natural pessimist. Watching this show keeps that tendency from taking over. Never ever stop with the positivity, please. Hell yes.
Absolutely.
And thank you for the donation, Andy.
Oh, Andy, you have just been such a godsend. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, yes. Luke Sacker asks, was Thomas Aquinas the first libertarian? That's a great question for Judge Andrew Napolitano, maybe next Wednesday.
Oh.
Sneering at Comedy says, Wendy's used to be one of my occasional fast food places. Now it's only Culver's. Well,
Culver's, aren't they like a Christian restaurant? Are they kind of run by the same people as Hobby Lobby? Because they're closed on Sundays.
I don't know. That's a great question. Or it's like Hobby Lobby, the Chick-fil-A. Boy, you went.
Hobby Lobby, Chick-fil-A, and then I thought Culver's too was something, but maybe it's not a religious.
Everybody like blames the Jews for controlling everything, but it's not the Jews why Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A are closed on Sundays. You know.
Yes.
If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, we're glad to have you here. You can send a text to the show at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. That's the text line that you can see on the screen right now. We'd love to hear from you. You might get a text message back from us. It might just be Steffi wanting to give you a call. So if you'd like to hear from us and you want to send us a text message, you can at 573-319-1586. 1586. Again, that text line is 573-319-1586. Okay, so moving on. I think we've talked about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to death, haven't we?
I think so.
Yes. I'd be curious to hear about like how you think this might have an impact on some of your clients, Stephanie, because this is a big story. This was Donald Trump's not in-person speech, but televised speech to Davos. That's the World Economic Forum's yearly meeting. Take a listen to this.
Official, and I've made it official, an official policy of the United States, that there are only two genders, male and female. And we will have no men participating in women's sports, and transgender operations, which became the rage, will occur very rarely. And I've made it
very rarely, as in
no.
never. But I mean, you know, so the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders. I can imagine that, you know, you as a therapist, Stephanie, you're going to have to deal with a lot of really upset people.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my clients are on the left, and so pretty much across the board, they're all saying the same thing to me. They're saying they're trying to stay away from social media, but they still want to stay informed. And so they're trying to find a balance between knowing what rights are being violated of theirs, but also staying away to keep their sanity. Mm-hmm. In terms of this whole male and female thing and the transgender, you know, getting care, not getting care, I don't know. Isn't it still a state-based policy?
In
so you
some
can
ways.
still, each state will still have their own way of looking at it. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, so each state will have its own policies, but the federal government, like, you won't be able to get, you know, a furry, no offense, on your license, on your passport, for example. So Kermode Bear's out of luck if he wants to put bear on his thing. No
I
offense,
do work
Kermode.
with transgender individuals, some of which have actually changed their gender on their birth certificate, passport, driver's license. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think they know yet. None of us really know if they're going to have to switch their gender back on these documents, or if once you change them, if you're kind of grandfathered in. So we still have yet to learn more information. I don't think we know enough yet. And right now, Trump is just making these blanket statements like, you know, you're rarely going to be able to do this. Okay, so what does that mean?
Right.
I mean, are you not going to be able to have sex reassignment surgery?
Well, I really think he's focused on kids.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
you know, it will be, you know, adults, you know, you can't stop adults from doing this kind of thing, but they are going to like make sure that it doesn't happen for children. And so I think what's going to happen though is like in terms of like the federal government though, it's like, you know, you're probably not going to be able to be transgender and join the military. That's going to be a big one. Yeah,
and I've actually known some people who are transgender in the military. I mean, Sarah Higdon, she used to be in the military, but I don't think she actually was transitioning while she was in the military.
Right.
But that is kind of scary.
I mean, it's odd to think that, you know, you would like, you would kick people out of the military for that, right?
Right. So that's really going to shake a lot of things up. I mean, remember back in the day, don't ask, don't tell with gay people in the military, where we didn't even really want gay people to be in the military. We meaning America, I guess.
Right.
I mean, if you can fight, if you've got the muscles and the strength, I think you should be able to. But the complex thing is, what barracks are you sleeping in?
Yeah.
Because I've known someone who is a transgender male, but he is still sleeping in female barracks because he's afraid of being hurt by men, because men are a lot bigger than him because he was born as a woman. So it's like, whose bed can you sleep in if you're transgender? That's going to be the issue.
No idea, but I do know that it's time for us to take a quick little break, Stephanie, so that we can go pee for liberty. We still got another half hour of show to go. A lot more
it's
fun.
It's going by so fast.
Yeah, I know. Don't go away, guys. Go to forlibertyshop.com. Do a little shopping. We'll be right back. It's the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network.
Made a deal to free Ross Ulbricht. What happens when a former president, a dark web kingpin, and a libertarian cause collide? Donald Trump's decision to align with the Libertarian Party for Ross Ulbricht's freedom is a story of politics, principles, and controversy. But why did Trump strike such a bold agreement? The 2024 presidential election set the stage for a strategic move. Trump, eyeing crucial swing states, sought the support of libertarian voters. In exchange, a promise to pardon Ross Ulbricht, the imprisoned founder of the Silk Road Marketplace. Ross Ulbricht's name became infamous as the mastermind behind the Silk Road, a groundbreaking online marketplace operating on the dark web. Silk Road used Bitcoin to conduct transactions, making it a hub for anonymous deals, including the sale of illegal drugs. In 2013, after years of investigation, authorities shut down Silk Road, arresting Ulbricht. Sentenced to double life in prison without parole, his case ignited a heated debate. Was Ulbricht a criminal who endangered lives, or a visionary scapegoated by a flawed justice system? For libertarians, Ross Ulbricht isn't just a man in prison, he's a symbol of government overreach. They argue his sentence is disproportionately harsh, and the justice system failed by punishing him excessively as a non-violent offender. On the other side, critics emphasize the dangers Silk Road posed. Through the website, harmful substances reached countless users, leading to alleged overdoses and criminal activities. The case divides public sentiment, over-policing versus public safety. In politics, timing is everything. Trump's 2024 campaign strategists recognized the potential of winning over libertarians in decisive swing states. The Libertarian Party, holding significant sway in these areas, became a critical ally in Trump's election calculus. The offer, cleansing Ross Ulbricht's record as a way to unite Trump's populist appeal with libertarian ideals. Public perception balanced carefully on whether this deal was advocacy for justice or political opportunism. Why did the Libertarian Party rally behind Ulbricht? Libertarians champion personal freedoms and less governmental interference. For them, Ross represents the consequences of an overreaching war on drugs and outdated policies ripping apart lives for nonviolent offenses. Trump's promise aligned with their long-standing calls for reform. By endorsing Ulbricht's release, they saw a chance to spotlight their platform, influence broader politics, and attract other justice-minded voters. The deal raises tough questions about ethics. Can individual cases like Ulbricht's become bargaining chips in political transactions? Does this challenge the integrity of the justice system or highlight its flaws? For Trump, the decision demonstrated his pragmatic art of the deal, using controversy to consolidate new coalitions. But opponents argue it underscores transactional politics, putting principles secondary to personal gain. Silk Road's legacy is undeniable. It advanced conversations about internet freedom, cryptocurrency's potential, and the limits of government oversight. But it also exposed the risks of unregulated spaces, proving how innovation can blur the lines between liberty and criminality. Ulbricht's story serves as a cautionary tale about navigating ambition, ethics, and innovation in the digital era. While polarizing, it continues shaping debates far beyond itself. The announcement of Trump's deal sparked outrage and applause. Libertarian supporters celebrated the prospect of justice for Ulbricht. Meanwhile, critics accused Trump of trivializing law enforcement for political benefit. Media coverage thrust the debate into the national spotlight, amplifying its stakes. Trump once again dominated the headlines, shifting the focus onto this polarizing decision. This story isn't just about Donald Trump or Ross Ulbricht. It's about the justice system, personal freedoms, and the role of politics in creating change. What do you believe? Should political deals dictate justice, or should fairness prevail independently of campaigns? Let your voice be heard. Share this video, join the conversation on justice reform, and explore how your vote shapes the future. Leave your comments below, and let's spark meaningful dialogue for change.
Tired of spending your hard-earned money on woke corporations that don't share your pro-freedom values? Fed up with sipping liberal lattes and progressive cappuccinos? Introducing Founding Flavors from AP for Liberty Shop. Get your day started with Washington's Revolutionary Roast. As robust and principled as the man himself, this blend is the shot of energy heard round the world. Or maybe you want to taste the fervor of freedom with Adams's Patriotic Perk. It's as dynamic and balanced as the U.S. Constitution, sure to awaken your spirit of liberty. For the aficionados, we've got the Jeffersonian Java, a complex mix of flavors that speaks volumes about your refined tastes. And don't forget Betsy's Liberty Lullaby, our decaf option. Crafted with the same care and dedication Betsy Ross put into our Star-Spangled Banner. This blend lets you enjoy the taste of freedom anytime without losing sleep. No woke beans here, folks. Just pure, patriotic, pro-freedom flavors brewed with love for liberty. So why compromise your principles for a cup of coffee? Stand up for your values, perk up your patriotism, and start your day the American way. Get your founding flavors at apforlibertyshop.com. Good morning. Rise and freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network. We're going to give a little bit of a shout out, I guess, to YouTube this morning. I never thought I'd do that, but here we are. For whatever reason, I think it's the John McAfee topic that got so many people watching over there. Usually have like 5 people watching over on YouTube, but I was checking the numbers and it looks like there's like 30 people watching. There's already been like hundreds and hundreds of views. I think people want to hear the conversation about John McAfee. We talked about John McAfee quite a bit at the beginning of the show. We've moved on to other topics, like we've talked about John F. Kennedy Jr., John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King files. And so if you missed all that stuff, make sure that you, after the show, back up the stream and watch all of that, because I did give some like behind the scenes stories that people have never heard about me, John McAfee, Penn and Teller, and things that you may have never heard before. So definitely go back and listen to that if that's what you're here for. It's nice to see JMS, GoPro 518, I am Danny 7, Shapeshift, Pilot Wave Theory, Fire Drake, Dr. Feelgood, Michael Thomas, and so many others over there on YouTube. You guys should join us over at Rumble. It's way more fun. We've got a lot more people over there at rumble.com/AP for Liberty. YouTube demonetized me. So I try not. The only reason I have it up on YouTube is just for advertising purposes, but not a YouTube guy. I'm a Rumble guy. I'm a locals guy on the Wake Up America show. Joining us live here with me on Freedom Family Friday is my smoking hot redheaded libertarian wife, Stephanie. How you doing, Steffi?
Great. Kelvin joined the show. Is my microphone working?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Kelvin joined the show. He came into the
our
room
little pups
during our break here.
Yes, nice to see. Nice to see. Stephanie, you were kind of confused about Whitey White over in the chat about the anti-Jew stuff that's going on over in the chat. You were a little surprised about that.
I was like, oh, here's somebody spewing hate about the Jews, but I guess you've actually talked to him, and he said it's the only show that's on in the morning.
Yeah. I was wondering. I was like, why is a white nationalist? Like, I won't call him a Nazi if he doesn't identify as such, right? A National Socialist.
Right.
But
he's white. I guess we can.
He's very white. But I was just curious because I was like, we're a libertarian show. We're obviously very anti, fascist and very anti-communist as well, right?
I just find it funny that Whitey White is watching a show that has a Jewish woman.
I know, yes.
One of the speakers.
Right. Well, I asked him that. Why? I was like, why do you watch the show? Because we're pretty clearly anti that. And he's like, it's the only good show that's on at this time in the morning. So I was kind of like, fair enough.
See, no matter how much someone hates Jews, they still know that we know how to put on a good show.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, or maybe it's what L-Dub says. It's called studying the enemy. There we go.
Oh, yes. He's trying to observe our behavior patterns.
He wants to know
Just
how
like
to destroy
Russians.
the libertarian Jew. Yes.
That's right. He's trying to find my weaknesses.
Grixis says, what happened to the studio? You know what happened to the studio? It's 15 minutes away in the butt-ass freezing cold. And I don't want to go drive down to the studio in the butt-ass freezing cold and spend an hour setting up the show and then an hour breaking down the show after, then driving myself home in the butt-ass cold and losing 2 to 3 hours of productivity every single day. When it warms up, will I go back to the studio? Maybe. But for now, am I working from home in my underwear? You goddamn right. There we go. So there's where the studio went. So if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to click the like button and follow the stream. We'd be glad to have you join us Mondays through Fridays from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. That would be great. I love this article over at the Wall Street Journal. This might be probably the best headline I've ever read in my life. I'll be honest. You want to read it, Stephanie? Can you read it out loud for our audience here? Can you see?
Swaths of U.S. government grind to a halt after Trump shock therapy.
Yes. Rescinded job offers, delayed health updates, and confusion over cutting government checks upend business as usual across Washington.
See, I was thinking shock therapy, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest shock therapy.
Basically for the government. So just the first paragraph alone gets me harder than a diamond in an ice storm. The gears of government slowed to a halt this week after President Trump axed major federal initiatives across Washington, causing even routine functions to hit the skids.
This sounds like something Javier Milei would do.
Oh my God.
Sounds similar.
I love it. The Transportation Department temporarily shut down a computer system for road projects. Health agencies stopped virtually all external communications in a directive that risked silencing timely updates on infectious diseases. A hiring freeze left agencies wondering how parts of the government could adapt to new demands. Confusion loomed over how agencies should disperse funds allocated by the previous administration. Good. New leadership of the Department of Health and Human Services halted all external communications from the health agencies through February 1st. Food and Drug Administration employees scrambled to clarify that they could still issue critical safety alerts, while scientists said that their grant review meetings had been canceled, potentially endangering funding for their health research. Now, keep in mind that this article is written by the Wall Street Journal. So it's very like, oh no, what will we do, right? The government, right?
Is the Wall Street Journal a left organization?
Well, they are compared to us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So they want government intervention. They want government programs.
Yes. So here's the thing. I read the Wall Street Journal every day. I also read the New York Times and the Washington Post. But here's the thing. So I read the Wall Street Journal because it is the most right-wing of all of the legacy media, right? So in terms of like mainstream media, or we'll call them legacy media, there is, like Fox News and the New York Times and the Washington Post, and there's the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal is like the only like you might call it mainstream, but like legacy media that is like it's center right in my mind, right? Which means like it's kind of like Mitt Romney-esque. right? You will occasionally hear libertarian views in the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
Right? But it's more like kind of establishment conservative, establishment Republican kind of thing, right? So when they say, Food and Drug employees scramble to clarify they could still issue critical safety alerts, right? The way that they're writing that is like, we really need the FDA to be issuing critical safety alerts, when in reality, we just need the FDA to shut the hell down, don't we? Yes, don't we?
Well, when we were at the grocery store yesterday, there were not very many eggs on the shelf because of some sort of recall.
Yeah, well, that's the bird flu.
So wouldn't the FDA have to do with that, making sure the eggs are safe?
Hell no.
No. Maybe that's why the eggs aren't on the shelf, because the FDA shut down.
Hy-Vee is going to tell you that they're because what were we looking at the price of eggs yesterday? What was it?
They were terrible. It was $14.99 for 30 eggs and $8.99 for 16 eggs.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like the prices of eggs have gone up because we've had an avian flu. But the thing is that like you don't need the FDA to tell you that. Like the Hy-Vee is going to tell you the reason why the price of eggs has shot up. They're going to tell you, and they have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with having a private auditing board where this private company comes in and makes sure that food is still safe. I think that's fine because the government makes mistakes. The government is a human, just like all of us. We seem to think that the government is flawless and they're perfect and they're never going to mess up. And, any food that they distribute is always going to be exactly what they say it is.
If the FDA signs up on it, then...
Right. But no, they're humans. They're flawed, just like us. So, do you think that even private agencies should be looking at our food? Or do you think, basically, if somebody has chickens and they package up their eggs, do you think those eggs should be in our public grocery stores? That we just go to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's farmers markets and stuff, right? So it's like, you don't have...
It's kind of like an at your own risk, buy this and maybe you'll get sick.
Well, like my dad, he gives away his eggs to like all of his friends and neighbors and gives to us. Like there's no FDA inspecting my dad's chickens.
No.
And he's like distributing, he's like the black market chicken egg guy in Peculiar, Missouri. So,
When I go to the grocery store, though, I do want to know that the food has been prepared in a clean way. And so, I don't know, like there's some people who would offer me food from their farm. And if their farm is kind of dirty, I probably wouldn't accept it. And so when you're at the grocery store, you don't always know where these things are from.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean...
So I guess I'm a statist.
Yeah,
I like some sort of
a private ratings agency.
Safety board.
A private ratings agency is what it should be.
Yes.
Right? The FDA should be abolished and it should be replaced with private ratings agencies. Like
I used to be for the non-GMO project back when I was, a vegetarian, kind of a conspiracy theorist. And so the non-GMO project, they would actually vet certain companies and say, yes, we've checked these out. They are legit. They are non-GMO. So if there's companies like that or organizations like that that can vet certain food companies, and if we trust that organization, then that's fine. That's fine. I would be okay with that.
Drew Van Runkle says Hebrew national hot dogs are the best. Yes.
They are. There you go. The Jews make the best hot dogs.
There you
go. Sam's Club and
Nobody
Costco
complains about the Jews taking
dogs.
over the kosher hot dog market. Homegrown butt nuggets, says Cecilia H. What are you talking about?
What happened?
I don't know what's going on in the chat.
They're talking about natural food. And,
there you go.
putting it in
Exactly.
the
Homegrown butt
grocery store.
nuggets.
Yeah. There you go.
What's going on, Cecilia?
I'm sure somebody would eat it. Cecilia is a very good cook. Talking about food, she makes bread. She posts all of the things that she makes. I definitely want her to cook us some food at some point.
Me too. Sambucus X, first time that he's ever been in the chat.
Hi.
We always love to welcome the newbies. Thanks for joining us. He said, buy Bitcoin. Absolutely. So,
yes.
Ba-bum.
I sold mine. I broke even. I did not make anything.
Oh, your Bitcoin? Yeah, you
Yes.
sold it when you'd broken even. I was like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Because I had been waiting for a few years and it had never made anything. It was just going below the line of what I spent. And I said, you know what? I don't want to worry about this every single day. So I just sold it. And now I don't worry.
So we're talking about the swaths of U.S. government that ground to a halt after Trump's shock therapy. This is from the Blammo. Great show, man. What's up, Wizard Greg? Nice to see you, bud. I love all these new names and faces, guys. Thanks for joining us on the show. I'm Austin Peterson, by the way. This is my wife, Stephanie, and this is the Wake Up America show. We talked this morning about John McAfee, my friend who passed away, and the new scam coin that they're going to drop. And we talked about the John F. Kennedy files and the conspiracy theories surrounding them. And now we're talking a little bit about some of the agencies of government that are grinding to a halt because of Donald Trump's executive orders. So speaking of bird flu, so this is what the Wall Street Journal is reporting, guys. Not my words, okay? This is like the statist take, right? CDC trackers on seasonal flu and bird flu have not been updated, and the agency's flagship weekly report, which has communicated public health information for decades, wasn't issued as normal on Thursday. Okay.
There we go.
No, but here's the problem, Stephanie. These people are not doing this, many of them. If they cared, first of all, this is why they should be shut down, okay? Because if they cared about people, they would continue to do that. If they believed that if they were doing this because they cared about the American people, they would not stop updating the trackers on the flu and the bird flu because Donald Trump canceled their, worship of giant black dick, okay? They would not be doing that. Okay.
Right.
They're angry that they don't get to sit around in their diversity circles and talk about black cock. That's what they're mad about. They don't get to talk about cutting off their penises in the drum circle anymore on the federal taxpayers' dime. And so,
well, they're not getting paid right now, right? Like literally, their job has halted.
Well, if they're part of the DEI programs, they have officially been given notice that they will get paid. They will get like their pensions and they're being fired. They're being let go, but they are getting paid. So here's the thing. The CDC, it says here, the staff in one CDC department has canceled a dozen work trips scheduled for the next 2 weeks, including travel to events that took months to plan, an official said. The CDC has postponed several planned meetings with outside partners, including one on antimicrobial resistance. So these motherfuckers, let me just say something right now. The only trips that are supposed to be canceled were the ones that they were supposed to be that were about diversity, equity, and inclusion, not ones about antimicrobial resistance. Right? They're canceling all this. They're canceled a dozen work trips. Are they canceling work trips? This is what I want to know. Are they canceling work trips that actually have to do with their job? If they're doing that, they're doing that because they're trying to punish us. They're doing that because they're trying to make us suffer, the American people suffer. Yeah. And not doing their jobs because they're throwing a temper tantrum. So you were just giving me like this whole schlemiel, schlemazel, huff and pepper incorporated like 20 minutes ago, saying, I like the government tells me whether my food is clean and healthy. These motherfuckers, they are canceling these meetings that have nothing to do with diversity, equity, inclusion. They're doing this to punish us. If they're doing that, do they really care about whether we're healthy or not? Ask yourself that, Stephanie. Now you're thinking about things. Let me put camera on you and now let you speak on the subject.
Well, I'm just thinking, let's say I still worked at a hospital like I used to, and they said, we're going to stop paying you now. So you can choose to volunteer your services here at our hospital, or you can just stay home. Our patients are still going to be here. They need help. If I'm not getting paid, I probably wouldn't show up, to be quite honest. But yes, is it a moral issue? Should you leave your patients that need you and that you're skilled to take care of?
No. If you do, okay, fine. I understand it. Here's the thing, though. If you do, don't give me some lecture about how we nurses we care about our patients, right? Or like we do this because we work these long hours, not because the pay is great, and it is, but we do it because we do it because we want to care about our patients. Bullshit.
Oh, do you want to know? During COVID, those nurses were getting paid.
Right. So
dollars.
if you don't get paid, and your freaking patients are sitting there and they need you, and you're not getting paid for whatever reason, and you leave them and you're not taking care of them, then don't give me the whole bullshit. Oh, we're doing this because we care about people. That's the thing with the CDC here. That's what this whole day is like. These grants with the NIH. They're talking about. The administration paused the communications in part to make sure that new missives aligned with Trump's executive order declaring only two genders. People familiar with the matter said the aim was to nix references to pregnant people, for example, rather than pregnant women. Such language aimed at being inclusive grew pervasive across healthcare in recent years. So they're no longer allowed to say things like pregnant people, right? Because here's the thing, that's what these people have been worried about. That's what they have made their jobs. They have made their jobs becoming the woke police of all of us. And now they can't do it. So now and many of them, they don't know what to do with their jobs. That's why Trump has to fire their asses, and he is firing their asses. Dude, I saw this yesterday. It was so beautiful. So the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms had a chief diversity officer. Okay. So on the website, it listed this woman and it's a black woman, as the chief diversity officer of the ATF, and Trump announced that all those jobs would be fired, okay?
Oh, my God.
So the next day, the website was updated, and she was on the website, and it said, like, staff executive.
Oh, no.
Her job title was like, her title had changed, yes.
I bet she's still going to do the same type of job, but it's just not officially going to be called that. There's going to be loopholes. Mm-hmm. Companies are still going to keep all of the inclusion talk. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. If that's what their company culture wants.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So Trump stops these diversity, equity, and inclusion standards, and then the CDC stops updating the flu tracker.
No.
Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? So does the CDC really care about us if they stopped doing that job, if the executive order was for them to stop all diversity, equity, inclusion? Right?
You know how during COVID, there were certain necessary individuals that still had to go to work, such as you, right? You were in radio. You had to report things to the population. Radio was necessary.
I was actually one of the few, like, it was so wild. I was considered an essential worker.
Essential, that was the term I was looking for. And so what I'm wondering is, are any of these government programs seen as essential? Is the CDC essential to help us from, diseases, the flu? I mean, I think that's kind of essential, isn't it? If there's a huge outbreak of something, don't we all need some sort of group in place to help with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but this is the libertarian world we want, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Listen to this. I love this. Most agencies were under a hiring freeze that could last 90 days, but it could run longer at the Internal Revenue Service, even as the agency enters tax season. Rather than the standard 90 days, Trump ordered it freezes hiring, said the Treasury Department has to sign off before the IRS can hire again. Oh, my God.
This is great. However, you know what I'm worried about?
That they're going to punish us and not give us back our freaking refunds? Yeah.
Our refunds are going to be delayed.
Of course.
Because who's going to be looking at our return?
It's like there was a brief shutdown of the government during the Obama years, the Tea Party years. And like the thing was that they only, the World War, I remember, I will never forget this. I was in DC at the time. They shut down the World War II memorial. And there were these honor flights where like the veterans could come in and go to the memorial.
I love those, yes.
And so here's the thing. The government said it's a government shutdown. So they put barricades up and guards to block people from going in. It's just an open air memorial.
Yeah, like the Vietnam Memorial.
Yeah, you just walk by it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So the government actually physically prevented veterans from being able to go into their own World War II memorial. Many World War II veterans could not go into the memorial. So that's what the government does when that's what's happening. So they're not, it's like, the National Park Service they're talking about right now. So they don't shut down the aspects of government that torture us on a daily basis, right? You still have to pay your taxes.
Right.
But they'll stop paying the refunds.
Yes.
Right. It's kind of like when, how we did that thing, every year we're not extorted, I will say, but we are threatened by our insurance provider to call MU Health.
We were just threatened this year.
We were threatened this year, and we were threatened the year before.
My doctors are at MU Health, and we got a letter from MU Health. Saying, please call your insurance company.
Call your insurance company.
Your insurance company might not allow you to go to MU Health anymore, and then your services aren't going to be covered. And then I start freaking out because I'm like, oh, great, I have to go find all new doctors now.
Right. So they threaten us, right? And it's kind of extortionist to an extent. Like, call your insurance company, and then the insurance company, call MU Health, right? Because they're negotiating for money, and they use us as pawns.
Yeah.
Right. And what do? They punish us. But because they want more money from the insurance companies or, et cetera, right? Yeah. So it's the same way with the government. They don't take away the things from government that are painful, that we hate, that we want to go away. Yeah. They take away the things that we actually might need, like a flu tracker, for example, or something like that. The CDC or the IRS, they're not going to stop, auditing us.
Oh no.
Right. They're not going to stop the audits. Right, they're gonna still do everything evil and horrible and terrible that we want them to stop doing.
And they're gonna continue spying on us.
Right, and then they're only gonna take away the things that we actually benefit from in order to get us to complain to Trump and say, Trump, please, we need our refunds. Please hire IRS agents.
What they want is for us to say, please, we need you. They want to feel needed.
I know that I know I'm speaking for both of us when I say this, so I have to be careful, right? But I'm willing to forego any kind of a tax return if Donald Trump does great damage to the IRS. If Donald Trump, here's the thing. You know that World War II propaganda poster that I have in this bathroom here that says it's up to us and it shows Uncle Sam?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that
the American Dream.
That World War II propaganda poster shows Uncle Sam holding two Americans in his hand, two groups of Americans, two families. One of them is standing and walking, and the other one is driving in a car.
Right.
So the concept of that is that some people will have to sacrifice. And it's up to us to walk instead of drive, right? Because during the war, we needed gasoline and materials for vehicles and all that kind of stuff. We as Americans, if we want to change this system, if we want to abolish the IRS and the Federal Reserve and all those kinds of things, we're going to have to suffer because the government the deep state is going to come after us. It's not going to come out. It's not just going to come after Donald Trump or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for trying to change the seed oils. It's not going to change. It's not going to just go after all of these people. You are not immune, okay, to this war, the war that is happening right now of rights. We as Americans are going to be, some of us will be collateral damage, right? Some of us are, the deep state knows how to hurt us. And they will do it through the IRS. It will do it through the regulatory, I'm already seeing the National Park Service talking about shutting down parks and things like that.
Oh, yeah. God. Like Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's funny.
Exactly. So they want to punish us. They're going to try and punish. The deep state is going to come after us. They're going to try and make it hurt. They're going to try and make us hurt so that we will cry out to Trump for relief.
They know they have us wrapped around their finger because at the end of the day, a lot of us, we need money to survive. Yeah. We don't have a huge abundance of money just sitting there. We need our tax returns. So a lot of us can't just stand our ground and say, okay, fine, don't give me my tax return then. Because we can't. And they know that a lot of us are in survival mode. And so we're constantly dependent.
Right. Well, Trump wants to abolish the income tax.
That is seriously the thing that pains us the most is the income tax, our quarterly taxes.
Yes, our lives. If it were not for the income tax, you and I, we would live in like a candy land of like wonder and dreams and all that kind of stuff. And like we have to pay a lot of like sales taxes and stuff like that too. Actually, that's due. I got to pay that here at the end before the end of this month. But it is going to be painful to transition to a new economy.
Yeah.
If Trump is successful with let's say if he got everything that he wanted, which obviously nobody gets everything that they want. But if he got, if he got everything that he wanted, we will suffer, not because of his policies necessarily, but although like if you look at what's happening with Javier Milei in Argentina, like there was a shock to the economy.
Yeah. It was bad for a while.
Right.
I'm fine with a stair-stepping approach. Just lower our taxes, little by little.
Well,
that's fine. You don't have to get rid of them completely. Just lower them by 5%.
Yes.
And then I'll at least feel a little relief.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
Cecilia says, you guys still get tax returns? No. I mean, we're just hoping.
We got a bill last year.
Yeah, last year we paid big time. Like the year before that, we got some back. And then last year, we had to pay everything back that we had like gotten from a tax return. And now we're just kind of like hoping to God that like our child tax credit this year will actually help us. So we'll see. So.
And our dog tax credit.
And our what?
Our dog tax credit.
Dog tax credit. What the hell's that?
Our dogs are our children.
Oh yeah.
Haven't you seen that?
I mean, yeah, Calvin and George,
right,
of course.
Right. Where you like dress your dog in a baby outfit and you're like, oh, I have children.
Yes. So anyways, it's 9 a.m. Do you want to end the show, or what do you think, Stephanie? I mean,
Hazel's still sleeping.
Yeah. Do you want to go? Do you want to go a little bit longer and hang out, or what do you think? It's up to you.
With it. I don't have anywhere to go.
Do you guys want to hang out?
It seems like people are very spirited in the chat there. They seem pretty riled up about something.
Here's the thing. Like we didn't like do a lot of ads this morning, and we didn't do bonus content, and we didn't like ask for like donations or rants or anything like that. So here's the thing. So it's 9 a.m. We'll go to 9:30 if we raise $50 in Rumble Rants. What do you say? In the next 10 minutes. So it's 9 o'clock now.
Okay.
If in the next 10 minutes we raise $50 either in Rumble Rants or somebody goes to forlibertyshop.com and like buys a bunch of tea or something.
If you buy some Javier Milei Fuera shoes.
Yeah, go buy a pair of Javier Milei sneakers. So here's the thing. We're going to go until 9:10 and give you guys a little bit of time. And can you please bless me with something?
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, gosh.
Money-wise. Please.
Can you suck it?
What?
So the misconception about podcasts is that we just automatically make money out of thin air.
Right.
As soon as our podcast goes live, there's money just flying at our face.
Right.
But that's not how it works.
No, we have to beg.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so we'll go from 9 till 9:10. We got 10 more minutes to go on the show, unless we raise $50. And if we raise $50 either in Rumble Rants or in purchases at the shop, then we'll go to 9:30. So we'll keep the show going for a little bit longer, guys. So we'll give you a little bit of time. You can go to forlibertyshop.com. That's the number 4, libertyshop.com. Buy yourself a bag of that delicious 4 Liberty, perhaps, or just make a Rumble Rant donation right now in the chat, and we'll keep going. So let's get back to the topic here in terms of the hiring freeze. So this is what the president of the National Treasury Employees Union is saying about the hiring freeze. She says that as Americans prepare to file their 2024 tax returns starting next week, now is the time they need a qualified customer service representative to answer the phone. Freezing hiring at the IRS will severely impact the level of service. Aww.
Since when is there a customer service representative answering the phone? I have never actually gotten help from the government to file my taxes. I have to pay somebody like $1,000 almost to do my taxes for me. This year, we're not doing that. We're doing our own taxes.
Yeah. Agencies were scrambling to understand Trump's executive order that instituted an immediate pause on the distribution of funds from former President Joe Biden's infrastructure law and his climate law. The order told agencies to review cash disbursements and submit reports on their status within 90 days. Many of those funds had been promised to companies through loan contracts, which are legally binding. The order set off a wave of confusion about which funds need to be halted. On Tuesday, the Office of Management and Budget issued a memo clarifying that the order only targets funds related to electric vehicles, blah, 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 blah. One of the other things that was interesting, too, is that with Trump shutting down the DEI programs and all that, is that like federal contractors, it used to be that in order for you to get a job to do contract work for the federal government, you had to you would get bumped to the front of the line if it was like a minority owned business, or if you had diversity, equity, inclusion standards, right? This is federal jobs now, right? But in terms of the changes that Trump made, now it's you actually are punished if you have diversity, equity, inclusion programs at your company.
Oh no.
Yes. So now it's actually, you have to, if you want to do business more than $10,000 worth of business with the federal government, you have to prove that you don't have diversity, equity, and inclusion standards, which is, it went from it's like the opposite of what it was now.
The cultural shift is happening. It's going to be very interesting to see what all the TikTok children are going to start to say on their videos. If they're going to continue to spew out the same information, or if they're going to change their viewpoint slightly. Because what is cool has now changed.
A blitz of executive orders from President Trump promises to do more than rid the government of diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The actions have the potential to revamp DEI at thousands of private workplaces across the country. Besides ordering an end to DEI programs across federal agencies, Trump revoked a 6-decade-old executive order that requires government contractors to proactively root out discrimination on the basis of race and sex. The president also instructed each agency to identify the most egregious and discriminatory DEI practitioners among companies, nonprofits, foundations, and other private sector organizations, and recommend up to 9 targets for potential civil investigations. This is huge. Now business leaders and their legal teams are trying to determine their exposure to enforcement actions and what workplace policies they need to abandon or change. Here's what companies and workers need to know. That's what the Wall Street Journal is saying. So, oh my God. So most big American companies, plus thousands of small ones, sell goods and services like toilet paper, website design, jet fighters to the U.S. government. The government uses its clout to mandate policies on everything from their wages to workforce diversity practices. So now Trump has ordered the government to tell him who are the worst companies that they do business with when it comes to DEI policies. So it's going to be like Microsoft, Google, Boeing, all of these major companies are going to get flattened.
All of a sudden, all of the airplanes are going to work again.
Well, you know what?
Like the doors are no longer going to open randomly. Isn't that going to be something? We're going to be like without plane crashes for the first time in 10 years. Thankfully, we'll be flying to Washington, D.C. May 1st through 3rd, and all of the DEI hires are going to be gone, and our airplane will be safe.
That's right. She keeps a moist Shonda in a pretty cabinet.
But hopefully, though, the government will be back open again so that we're not blocked out of certain landmarks when we go to Washington, D.C.
Just like Marie Antoinette. We're going to have a great time in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Drew, by the way. I see you over there trying
Drew
to...
Van Runkle?
What's that?
Is that Drew Van Runkle?
Drew Van Runkle, yes.
I had called him the other day.
Yes, you did. Yes. He loves the brainworm shirt. We made that brainworm shirt for him and only him.
We did.
He's the only person in the world who owns it. We're going to Washington, D.C. May 1st to the 3rd. Looks like the show's probably going to end because we didn't get $50 raised by the thing to go
somebody
into
gave
bonus
us a
overtime.
donation.
Yeah, Drew gave us $5.
Yeah.
We're trying to hit $50. We got 4 more minutes to do it. If we do that, then we'll go to 9:30. But I don't think it'll happen. It's 9:07, so 3 more minutes. So we should probably start to wrap it up. But I mean, this is your first time on the show since all these executive orders have been flying out the gate, Stephanie. I know I know you're raising a baby and everything, so you haven't been able to keep up on all the news and everything.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, it's pretty fantastic that everything that's been going on this week.
I'll tell you the ones, oh gosh, Kelvin's sitting on my headphones. I'll tell you the ones that I know most about. So the Gulf of America thing, I'm not for that. No. Mexico is the place to vacation. I picture sandy beaches, ocean, beautiful, warm water. Gulf of America, come on. I don't know. I like to go to different countries for my vacations. I have no problem with that. So I guess I'm not an America supremacist. Just keep it Gulf of Mexico, guys. It just sounds prettier. Anyway, second one. J6ers being pardoned. Obviously, our friend Angelo Pacheco. I'm very, very happy about that. Although I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she's having mixed feelings about these J6ers being pardoned because she said she was listening to this guy who actually took a stick and shattered a window at the Capitol, and he was pardoned. And she's like, he actually did something wrong. He shattered property. You know, how can you let somebody go who, you know, really did do something wrong? And yeah, it's like, I don't think we should applaud people who are actually damaging property, truly. Like, those J6ers, I don't think I feel as bad for in terms of, you know, them being in trouble. Because if they truly shattered a window, like, that's not cool. Don't do that. Yeah. But if you're just, like, standing there at the building not doing anything, you know, there's nothing immoral about that.
Yeah. I personally like the Gulf of America, to be honest. Drew Van Runkle says he's not a big nationalist, but he loves the Gulf of America. Yes. Steelbringer gave a gifted sub. Thank you, Steelbringer. Appreciate that, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate Talus 1776. First time we've seen you here. Welcome. We always like to say welcome to all of our friends. We appreciate those gifted subs. I don't think we hit $50 raised. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't tell me how much gifted subs are in terms of donations. So, but I think it's like $20. So we raised 35 out of 50. So we didn't quite get there, which means that it is time to push the sad music button.
As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. As our lives change, come whatever, we will still be friends forever.
Stephanie, tell them where they can go. If Kosher Salt over in the chat wants to go with us to Washington, D.C., May 1st to the 3rd, where can they find more information about that?
Go to 4libertyshop.com. That's the number 4libertyshop.com. And you can see our booking page. I think it's close to the top of the website. You might have to scroll down a little bit past the Afuera shoes there, and then click book now, and you can get a buy one get one half off ticket. And if you are a monthly subscriber at any level, you can use your 20% off coupon code, and you can get 20% off any of the vacation package items. So that is an incentive to become a monthly subscriber as well.
There you go. So if you go to 4libertyshop.com, you guys can find out all about AP's DC Liberty Tour. It's going to be amazing.
It is. We got to schedule our trip. We got to look at flights.
Oh, man. I'm so glad that it's Friday. We finally get to have a little bit of a break. The weekend is coming. We're going to be so... The only thing that sucks about the weekend is that we don't get to hang out with you guys.
I know.
Thank you. Steelbringer, Luke Sacker, Dad Bod Baboon, Drew Runkle, Larry Legend 420. What's up, Larry Legend? We haven't seen you before. Questfin, I love all the new names and faces, man. I love seeing all the new people. Dad Bod Baboon, Barney Styles, Kim McCurry. Hey, what's up, Kim? Latrell, Mind Art, Steelbringer.
Yeah, there's a lot of growing. The community is growing.
Yeah, the community really is growing, guys. And we hope that we're going to see you again here right back on Monday. What time, Stephanie?
7 to 9 a.m. Central Time.
Where do they watch us at?
Rumble.com/AP for Liberty or WakeUpAmericaShow.com.
Stephanie, I love you.
I always have to be thinking on the top of my head there.
I always do, yes. Oop, there, I forgot about, there we go. We'll see you guys on Monday right here on the Wake Up America Show on the 4 Liberty Network. Bye, guys.
We need like a gang sign for our 4 Liberty. 4L. 4L. There you go.
There we go. 4, this, and then like this.
4L.
Yeah.
That should be our new gang sign. 4L. Ooh, Kelvin's on the cord there. He chose this as his.
Tired of spending your hard-earned money on woke corporations that don't share your pro-freedom values? Fed up with sipping liberal lattes and progressive cappuccinos? Introducing Founding Flavors from AP for Liberty Shop. Get your day started with Washington's Revolutionary Roast. As robust and principled as the man himself, this blend is the shot of energy heard round the world. Or maybe you want to taste the fervor of freedom with Adams's Patriotic Perk. It's as dynamic and balanced as the U.S. Constitution, sure to awaken your spirit of liberty. For the aficionados, we've got the Jeffersonian Java, a complex mix of flavors that speaks volumes about your refined tastes. And don't forget Betsy's Liberty Lullaby, our decaf option, crafted with the same care and dedication Betsy Ross put into our Star-Spangled Banner. This blend lets you enjoy the taste of freedom anytime without losing sleep. No woke beans here, folks. Just pure, patriotic, pro-freedom flavors brewed with love for liberty. So why compromise your principles for a cup of coffee? Stand up for your values, perk up your patriotism, and start your day the American way. Get your Founding Flavors at apforlibertyshop.com.